Hey everybody, welcome back to Star Wars Minute. It's the daily podcast where we analyze, scrutinize, and celebrate the Star Wars movies 1 minute at a time. I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
I'm Alex Robinson from AlexRobinson.1.
I'm Ralph from Cake Boss and Buddy vs. Duff, and this is a cat.
Aww.
Look, there's a cat there.
Do cats exist in Star Wars?
Sure.
Loth cats.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I don't. We'll have to look up the further if there are other varieties of cats. I'm sure there are.
What's also the one from Attack of the Clones? The
the Nexu.
Yeah, that's not really a cat. That's more of a nightmare.
Potato.
My fiance adores that thing. She thinks it's very cute.
Mm-hmm.
That was her favorite thing about Attack of the Clones, as I recall. She has never seen the Star Wars prequels until very recently. And she felt like she was really missing like a big piece of nerd, like social cachet. Like people would talk about stuff and she didn't have that to draw on. So I bit the bullet and we watched the three of them in order together over the course of a couple of days. I still think those movies are abysmal.
All right. We'll see everyone next week on another
Star Wars Minute.
Star Wars.
But first, we have to talk about minute 54.
We're going to do it butt first.
Of Star Wars Episode 8, Attack of the Nothing. It's The Last Jedi.
Slow chase of the guys.
54 starts with somebody.
Cocaine and disco.
Somebody, I can't read my notes. It starts with, Kylo Ren saying, "The night that I destroyed his temple, did he tell you why?"
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
And it ends with Finn asking Rose if she knows Canto Bight. You know this place?
In the biblical sense.
How?
Which is a better name? Ridley Driver or Driver Ridley?
I think Driver Ridley is pretty cool.
Driver Ridley sounds like an obnoxious kind of private school 10-year-old.
Yeah, Driver Ridley is a wealthy bully, whereas Ridley Driver is a private investigator.
Yeah, there you go.
Private school, private investigator.
Yeah.
Yep.
Depends on which way you're going.
All right.
I really wanted Rey to correct Kylo Ren here. I've forgotten everybody's names for some reason. So tell me, Steve, what I wanted Rey to kind of correct Kylo Ren here and she was yelling and he's like, "Oh, you called me a monster," and I wanted to be like, "No, I called you a murderous snake." But
I think she called her a monster in the other movie.
Yeah. And earlier, the first time they had a call, I think she was like, "You monster."
Bad force connection. Did you say
that was
snake
how I made
or
friends
monster?
That was how I made friends with the bully in high school.
By calling him a snake?
No, it was I forget what happened. He like knocked into me in the hallway, and I called him a bad name. I'm not going to make you bleep more stuff out. And he was like, "Hey, did you call me this different bad name?" And I was like, "No, I called you this bad name." And he went, "Okay."
He respected that.
Yeah.
Or
and then
she.
after that, it was a him. And then after that, like he was in my radio production class, and after that we became kind of friends.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
And that bully's name was Billy D. Williams. Bully D. Williams.
Billy D.
Bully
Williams.
D. Williams. William December Williams. Yeah, he told me enough. Like I like how that has a little echo. See, I like it when there are little echoes of things that happened previously on Star Wars.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that has a nice feeling of like reminding me of that scene with Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, but
wait, which one?
When he's like, I'm your dad.
So,
Luke, your dad.
Darth Vader is played by Richard Kind. Luke, it's me. I'm your dad. I cannot do an impression of him.
That's pretty good.
I would like that. That would be a good one.
Yeah.
Oh.
There should be all different variations where they're taking the mask off Darth Vader, and they could have different celebrities doing the
Right.
underneath there.
It can only be people that everyone can do impressions of. It's going to be Christopher Walken, Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Jack Nicholson.
Gilbert Gottfried.
I really like the scene between. I think this is some of the stuff I really like. The scenes between Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver. I really feel. I'd be curious if they were. We'll never know because these making ofs are very scattershot. But I'd be curious if they were together when they did these, because obviously they're not together.
Yeah,
Right.
but like if she was there, if they were there opposite each other
Yeah.
to
Or were they
read
just
lines,
talking to a tennis ball and a stick?
Yeah, or
Yeah.
at least somebody else there. I doubt
Yeah.
that they flew Adam Driver out to that island.
It's just
to
a
get to-
best boy grip with a cigarette, like looking from the script. He's like, "No, I called you a murderous snake."
right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not the line.
But and I really like that part where she says, "You're a monster," and he says, "Yes, I am." I really like that part because I don't know. It's just so it's a different take than we've seen on. It's kind of disarming in a weird way because it's almost like he knows what he is, and it's not like, "No, you must join me because I'm secretly the good guy." You know, he's.
I think opposite. He doesn't know what he is, and he wants to be. That's him playing it up. That's him, choosing his own nickname in high school. He's like, I'm a monster. I'm bad. I'm totally a bad guy who's with the dark side.
There's
He's an
cases
emo.
to be made for both of those
Yeah.
interpretations, which is
Yeah.
I like it when things are open and you can bring something to the media that you're consuming instead of just being handed everything. But yeah, I like he's also a very different kind of character than we've seen previously in these movies. The both of them are.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I still don't know if I like Kylo Ren.
Like
You're
you wouldn't invite him over.
No. I mean, I wouldn't, but like, I love Darth Vader. You know, like you can
You
like
definitely invite
characters
him
who are,
over.
yeah, no, probably not.
Hmm.
But you're making it very hard to make this point.
Sorry.
I don't know if I like the character.
You mean like him like as the protagonist in a movie, or like him in a personal sense?
Like you don't think he's well constructed, or
I just don't know if I like the character.
Hmm.
You know, like I
I like him in this because I like Adam Driver. I think he's a great actor.
and I do like Adam Driver and think he's a good actor.
Yeah.
I don't know if I care about Kylo Ren at all.
I think he gets weakened because his third act is whatever is going on in that storyline. So I feel like without that satisfying resolution, it's tougher to.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I
We'll
see
get
what you're
there.
saying, and I like him best in this movie.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't find him super compelling in The Force Awakens.
I remember thinking that he was. I remember even at the time when I first saw it, being like, "This is what Darth Vader should have been like,"
Really?
as compared to Hayden Christensen's interpretation of
Okay.
Anakin Skywalker, someone who's really being tortured by the fact that they're being drawn into this almost against their will, or it's kind of with their will. He's torn. That's drama.
Mhm.
That is drama.
So, but
have-
I don't know whether it's Adam Driver or I don't know whether it's probably a combination of factors that result in that: the writing,
And
the acting, and
yeah,
the directing.
Working with a
So.
director who's used to working with actors.
It'll be very curious to see. This is getting off the field, but they announced that Hayden Christensen was going to be in the Shobi one.
Yeah, I'm very interested in that.
So we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, how's that going to play out?
I was really hoping Ghost Anakin was going to show up in the third in Rise
or
of
like-
Skywalker,
Any Force Ghost.
but specifically to have Hayden Christensen acting in the Disney era to see what that would have been like if it would have been different, or So, but
Well, I've already addressed both of my notes for this minute.
okay.
Yeah, he told me enough. And do you guys like Kylo Ren?
Hmm. Well, I do. There's interesting. I don't think this is their second call, right?
Yes.
Second call.
Mhm.
And nothing physically changed hands during the first call, right? They just kind of were aware of each other's.
No, in fact, she tried to shoot him, and it did not have any effect.
Right.
So,
and he noted that he couldn't see her surroundings or something like that. But here, when they're at the end of their talking, he reaches his hand out and notices that there's rain on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which makes that moment where she reaches out to feel the rain earlier in this scene. It's good storytelling. It's good movie making. Like you're drawing attention to the fact that that's there. She reaches out and touches it. Her hand gets wet, and then when you see him later, you can make that moment very much smaller. Like he doesn't have to be getting like a whole big splash of water. There's that little drip. You're connected to. Also,
bucket of water.
Hilarious. Yeah. It's like, oh, that was weird, and then just sploosh.
It would have been great at first that he looked at his hand and there was a couple of drops, and then he looked up, and then it was just like a bucket of water.
Right, as soon as he looked up, it all splashed down on him.
There's that Muppety energy is carrying over into this episode as well.
Do you think that
Rarely.
if you were Ryan Johnson and your name was spelled Rian, and people probably a lot of the time was like rain, like do you think you would have an adverse reaction to rain? Do you think you would avoid using rain in your projects? Is there rain in other? I was trying to think of. I know Knives Out is very kind of like dark and stormy, but are there scenes with rain? I can't remember.
Wow, that's funny.
Does he use rain a lot, or am I overthinking this, or both?
I don't know. I mean, Gore Verbinski's movies are generally pretty bloodless.
But again, that could be that he's got an adverse reaction.
I can't remember any time in a Hitchcock movie I saw someone attach something to a car or a penis.
Mm-hmm.
Or they work with Rainn Wilson,
Rain
and Ryan in Ron.
I could see Rainn Wilson in a Star Wars thing.
He's Trek now, right? He's over on that side of the fence.
Oh, is he? Who is he in Trek?
Oh, I don't want to spoil it for people, but he's in the new Trek stuff.
Have you guys seen the
Schweit Droot?
Schweit Droot is a very Star Wars name. Yeah. You guys seen the promotional image for the new animated Star Trek series that's coming out?
I don't know.
No.
Oh, it's called I forget what it's called. I'll have to send it to you when we're done talking about this on this show. But it looks very cool. It's like a misfit bunch of different alien creatures, and it doesn't take place on a Starfleet ship.
It's like DS9?
No, like it's not a Starfleet thing.
So it's like a Babylon 5?
It's just in the Star Trek universe. It's called like Misfits or Orphans or something like that. I don't remember. It has a name like that. But yeah, Star Trek Minute.
I'm sorry, those guys are. I'm upset with those guys because they didn't start. They didn't start with the motion picture, but
they went out of release order.
They know. We've talked about it. We've talked about it.
I didn't know that there was any history there, but you were like, those guys, and it was like, oh
no,
I tapped into something here.
They're good guys, and you should check out their show. But I
won't,
will always take umbrage that not only is it out of release order, but it was skipping one that I have a great fondness for. So
favorite one, yeah. Is it your favorite one?
Usually I say it is, yeah. It's Star Trek 1 and 2 in Star Trek. You have a kind of a Star Wars and Empire thing where any given day I could be, convinced that the other or Muppet Movie, Great Muppet Caper kind of a thing. Depends on my mood, but usually.
Wow, I thought you were solidly in Muppet Caper.
What?
I thought you were solidly Great Muppet Caper.
Usually I am.
You're a Muppet Treasure Island guy.
Well, I do love Muppet Treasure. That's yes, but I'm very solidly Muppet Movie. Muppet Treasure Island is great, though. I wish they would do another Muppets classic movie like that.
It seems like they did Muppet Wizard of Oz like 10, 15 years ago, and it was like a TV movie, and it showed. It was very low budget, and I think they were trying, but it just didn't click at all. And I think they just need to, why don't they do more of those? Why don't they just go do more public domain story and make it Muppet?
They're owned by Disney. They have a huge catalog of stuff they could do Muppet versions of. It's gonna be like
Oh, well.
Frozen. They're gonna do like Muppet Frozen and Muppet Aladdin. They're just gonna do
Dude,
it all like modern.
My kids
junk.
would go nuts for Muppet Frozen.
I would rather see Muppet Star Wars than Muppet Frozen.
Yeah.
Um,
Speaking of Star Wars, I don't know if this count as a wipe. Pete, you went to film school.
That's a weird transition, isn't it?
I love the fact that it goes from the water dripping on his glove to the hyperspace.
Yeah.
Popping out of there. So
It almost has a 60s Batman transition kind of feel because it's just this swirl coming out.
Yeah, so I liked it.
I wrote Glove Iris. Well, actually, I wrote Gove Iris because I was doing it quickly.
Forget it.
But yeah, Glove Iris. That's a very language of Star Wars kind of feel to it.
Yeah. That would be a cool cool force power they should add. If you could do like a hyperspace blast out of your
Or you could just transition to something else with your hand.
You could just change the scene.
Things get uncomfortable.
Let's go to that less interesting storyline.
This is really going to screw up the timeline of what's happening now.
Yes. So yes, back to Rose and newly minted pilot Finn flying their ship.
Mm-hmm. And they do
that FN pilot.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. Like, when could he have learned? This bothers me because I hadn't thought of it. But so no, like when.
Well, first I thought maybe Rose was piloting it and he was just sitting there. But when they're landing on Canto Bight, he's definitely like the one driving.
You're not supposed to be paying attention to that
because he's the man. That's why.
Mm.
The way I think about it, right? You ever play a Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes.
You know, like you can try to do anything. Like you roll a D20. You're just not always gonna have a bonus to it.
Yeah. Here's my theory.
Okay.
My theory is that he's not actually driving the ship. He just thinks he's driving the ship, and that it's being taken over by air traffic control, being like, well, the ship has landed. We can't just have people going wherever they want.
Right.
Like when you approach, it kind of like, and Rose is like, all right, I'll just let him think that he's driving.
Yeah,
the ship.
it's autopilot
cute.
for most of it, and then it's like slaved to the landing system at Canto Bight, and the whole time he's sitting there going, I'm good at this.
It's like Maggie Simpson driving the steering wheel.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that too, and I didn't want to.
And Rose is just like, oh, he's the resistance hero. He must be doing a great job.
Yeah. So we don't know if Rose knows how to fly a ship or not. We'll have to see when they leave who's flying the ship.
And we'll never find out because after this movie, her part will be dramatically reduced because the worst people on the internet made a big enough stink and got their way.
Yeah. She's Tay's crazy, that one.
Yeah.
It does make me wonder if there are air traffic controllers on planets or if anyone can just come and go as they please.
There
seems kind of dangerous.
I mean, we know
what
that
about
there
the
are
guy
people...
in the bucket with the radar
I thought
gun?
he was more like a speed trap than like guiding people.
That crow's nest on planet on Yavin.
Yeah, right. It's Poe Dameron's old man up there.
Yeah, Mr. Dameron up in the bucket.
Ben Dameron. You're not going to convince me their names aren't Ben and Jin. What? No, wait a second.
We were talking about air traffic controllers and...
Yeah, we know there's definitely people watching who's coming in and landing because that becomes a plot point in this movie.
That's true. Yeah,
right. That's them. They're the ones who parked illegally on the beach.
Well, save that for tomorrow.
Is that tomorrow?
Well, the first part of it is tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, we got to go slow and low. If we're gonna.
I'm gonna admit this. You guys usually when we do these episodes, like a day before, I watch every minute a couple of times and write a lot of notes.
I
didn't do it this time.
You're undermining our expectations, Ralph.
What
are we gonna do about that?
I'm a monster.
I know.
No, you're a murderous snake. That's it.
You're poisonous.
Porque no los dos.
Did we already ask you you said you saw this twice. Where was it? Did you see it near you?
Yeah, at a theater near me.
Does not want to reveal.
See it now in a theater near you.
Yeah, I saw it in Jersey City, New Jersey, where I live, at the Commons Mall there. I saw it opening night, and then I saw it probably again later that week.
you remember your first impressions? Because it was very controversial when it first came out. I don't know if you heard.
I was not a big fan the first time through. I watched it and all of the flaws really, like the things that I was frustrated about the movie sort of overwhelmed the things that I liked about it. And then watching it a second time, some movies kind of get smoothed out on a second viewing. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like when you know what to expect.
Well, especially with the Star Wars, with such, like this is like something coming from, the mountain coming down to us, the word of God. We have to.
Yeah. Like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is a movie that I feel like got smoothed out a little on second viewing. I still don't. It's not one of my favorite Marvel movies by any stretch, and it's nowhere near as good as the first one. But on first viewing, I was like, well, I hate this. And then I watched it again, and I was like, okay, sure.
I have no memory of Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
I
know I saw it, but
Ego the Living Planet.
I know that. I remember Kurt Russell's in it, but I don't remember what the plot of it or anything is.
And now his son plays jerk Captain
John Walker.
America.
Yeah.
U.S. agent.
I haven't seen that yet. But
it's no WandaVision, let me tell you that. It's fine.
That speaking of Marvel and speaking of seeing a movie a second time and having it soften for you, that happened to me with Ang Lee's Hulk. I went, saw it like opening weekend or whatever, and I was like, this is terrible. I hate this. And then I got home and my roommate was just like, hey, you want to go see Hulk tomorrow? I was like, I just saw it. And he's like, oh, like I really wanted to see that. Like, I was like, all right, I'll go again. I really didn't like it, but like, I got nothing to do tomorrow. So, and we went the next afternoon, and boy, did I love it.
Huh.
What a strange idea. The idea of liking that movie seems completely foreign to me. Was it Nick Nolte? Is that what did it for you?
There's a lot of things. I got it the second time. I was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah,
I get what they're going for. Like, it was the first time I was like, what the hell are they? What are they at here?
I was just about to say, man, Nick Nolte should be in Star Wars somewhere. but he was been in it, and
now he's on your desk.
Yeah, I'm frustrated because they made a big 6-inch action figure of him, but they don't have a 3 3/4-inch scale action figure. And I don't like the big 6-inch action figures. But people don't like it when they talk about the toys on this show, I'm told.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Move along.
So yeah, that's it. I guess.
I feel good. This is not, and I'll tell you the truth.
What?
Be honest. Not one of the most exciting minutes we've covered together.
Oh, it's kind of a transitional minute. You got the end of a phone call, and then the other guy's about to land somewhere. So it's
tomorrow's minute we're gonna have a lot to talk about.
Oh yeah, man. Let's get into that minute.
All right.
On another Star Wars minute.
Star Wars minute.
Sorry. Usually you guys like plug some stuff and do things. I stole the ending.
You said Star Wars minute.